Hey, what's up, comic book fans out there on YouTube? This is BDG Comics, and today I'm bringing you another comic book week in review video for May 18th, 2022. And in this video, I'm going to go over the books that I read and rank them from my least favorite to my most favorite, my pick of the week. And this week, I actually read a lot of new comic books. I read 19 books, and I'm going to rank them all from my least favorite, number 19, all the way down to my number 1. Without further ado, let's go. All right, now this one was a digital read. At number 19, we have Shaolin Cowboy. I don't have a whole lot to say about this. The general premise, or at least the setup issue, is you have this baby lizard that's born, and its father was going to eat it, and then this old cowboy guy comes and saves the day, and then they kind of go on a little adventure together. So this book is a number 1 issue. It's called Shaolin Cowboy, Cruel to Be Kin, and it is a new number 1 from Dark Horse Comics, and I think this is like the number 1 for a new volume or a new story of a character that already existed. I believe so. I don't know anything about the Shaolin Cowboy, but that's what I'm led to believe, is this is like the volume 2, and this is the first issue of it. It was okay. I mean, I guess it's for some people. I'm sure some people will probably really like it. The art was really good. It was really detailed, but the story was just too out there for me. It didn't make any sense, and I felt like it was kind of dumb. But some people will, I'm sure, will really like this this book. All right, coming in at number 18. I got X-Force number 28, another digital read. I didn't read like the first 25 volumes or something like that. But I've read the last few. I'm just not digging it. It's not brutal enough for me. I want my X-Force book to be like action-packed, like heavy action with some like intensity. They're kind of getting it. As far as X-Men books go, at least, this is kind of still the one, at least as far as just like an action book. Marauders, this and Marauders seem like they're gonna kind of go hand in hand and be like the action heavy books of the, you know, there's like 7 X titles all of a sudden, but it was okay. It was the last of like 5 mutant books that I read this week or something like that. So I was kind of like, when it comes to Krakoa and the X-Men and mutants and stuff, I was just kind of like numb at that point. It's okay. It's just nothing special. Wolverine seems super out of character all the time. The team up is pretty cool. Like, there's a cool team, and Domino's an awesome character. I love Domino. There's not enough of her in this book, I don't think, or in this issue. It's just not for me. All right, and then another book that's not for me, but is it my number 17? Hit Me number 3 from AWA Upshot. Now, I really like AWA stuff in general, but this series is just, it doesn't do it for me. The main character, her name's Lulu, and she's basically a prostitute, and she gets paid by the bruise. That's like her thing. She charges people who beat up women, I guess. It's just, it's not for me. So anyways, her partner like gets kidnapped or something, and then this issue is mostly about her like investigating the kidnapper and trying to find him and stuff like that. It's fine. Some people will really like this, I'm sure. Not me. All right, and number 16, gonna have my first physical book here on the list. Life Zero number 4. I love this series. It's really cool, and the art is absolutely incredible from Marco Cicchetto. But this issue bugged the crap out of me. First of all, there was a smaller problem with it where I don't understand why comic books have editors these days if they don't do their job. There's just like bad grammar and missing words in sentences and stuff. Like, it's not slang, it's actually like just missed editing. There's like, I can't remember the line exactly, but it's like the line is supposed to say, "I know what I need to do," and instead of saying that, or I think it says actually, "You know what you need to do," but in the speech bubble it actually says, "You know what need do," or something like that. It's like, come on, guys, like, edit your freaking book. Other than that, like, that's not the big issue. That's just a annoyance that I have pretty much with comics in general. They don't have a lot of words in them compared to a novel or something, so why is it so hard to edit and make sure the sentences are correct before you print, like, however many copies of the freaking book and sell it for $4? Anyway, I mean, I've only been, okay, so I'm sorry for the tangent. I've only been reading comics like consistently for like 5 or 6 months, right? And I've been going in on comics a lot, but I have noticed this, and it's not just, you know, indie publishers, it's the big ones too. They do the same thing. Like, just edit your books. Why can't you edit your books? You give credit to the editor in the book. It just makes them look bad. Just edit the book. Make sure the grammar is correct. Make sure the spelling is correct. Make sure all the words are there in sentences. It's just a gripe, I guess, but like we pay good money for these books. $4 is like, aside from like some Spawn titles and some kid titles, $4 is like the bare minimum, you know? That's what we pay. So edit your freaking books, please. Thank you. All right, anyways, back to the book itself, Life Zero number 4. My biggest issue with this was that there was a really big moment that happens with the character, and it should be an important moment, because in issue 3, the main character and his wife had to witness one of their team members shooting their daughter in the face. They killed her daughter right in front of them. This whole issue, they were like super depressed and down about it, which, yeah, obviously you're going to be. At the end, so this is a spoiler for this issue as well. I'm going to spoil it right here, right now. If you don't want to hear it, I don't know, skip ahead a couple minutes or something, or leave. Either way, what happens is the wife is super sad, and then the main character is comforting her, you know, hugging her and telling her it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. And she says, yes, I know it's going to be okay, because I'm going to be with our daughter soon. And he's like, what do you mean? And then she like pulls her shirt over and shows that she has like a bite on the neck. Then she's like, you need to shoot me, or you need to kill me. She hands him a gun, and then like instantly, like the next frame, he just pulls the gun up, blow, shoots her. Like, no emotion, just straight face, like this is nothing. And it happened in like 1.5 pages. It just took like a moment that seems like it should be huge, and it's just like, here, it happened. There you go. Which I understand that the guy's probably like dead inside a little bit after all that's happened, but it just bugged me. All right, so next we got X-Men Red number 2. Pew, pew, pew. Okay, so X-Men Red number 2. The art was good, the coloring was really good. As far as one of the X titles, it was a decent book. I think this is probably the 3rd best X-Men title, or mutant title, I should say. Well, not including X-Men 92, because that's the one that I am hoping that is really good, because I love Gambit and I love the old X-Men team. But so here you see basically a few action scenes. You see Cable getting like vaporized, and you see Storm and Vulcan, and they're like in this debate / dick measuring contest thing that they got going on. It's okay. Other than that, the reason why it's probably so low is Abigail Brand is in here a lot, and I'm just not a fan. I feel like every time she makes an appearance, it drags the book down. And that's not just this book, that's pretty much any book. I'm just not a fan of Abigail Brand. And yeah, that's X-Men Red number 2. So next we got, at number 14, Wolverine number 21. That's an okay book. Again, I don't know why they didn't just call it Wolverine and Deadpool, because that's what it should be. So if you like Deadpool, you'll like this. If you like classic like Wolverine titles, you won't like this. Wolverine is just weird right now. He's not the savage that we know of as Wolverine. Maybe he'll be that in the Wolverine patch series. I'm not reading that anymore. I read the first one, didn't like it that much, but maybe that'll turn around and that'll get all the Wolverine fans going. But this one, unless they like just do something drastic, this is not a good Wolverine title in my opinion. So basically you have Deadpool, and he's trying to get on Wolverine's good side and join like the X-Force, or he's trying to get into Krakoa and basically join a team with all the other mutants. And Wolverine's super sick of his shit because he's Deadpool and he makes jokes all the time, and I can imagine Deadpool would be super annoying in real life. But so by the end of the episode, Wolverine is kind of like turning over a new leaf and kind of saying like, yeah, Deadpool, you're all right. Come join us on Krakoa and everything will be fine, right? He doesn't say that, but he's giving off that vibe of like, all right, you know, acceptance. And then shortly after that, Deadpool does some Deadpool things and basically gets him caught in a shitty situation again. So I don't know. It's very like classic Wolverine and Deadpool hijinks. Whether you need that or not, I don't know. Okay, and then number 13 is Breakout number 2 from Dark Horse Comics. This book is okay. The art is definitely above average. It's not amazing, like it's not some of the best art out there, but it's good. It's really solid art. I just don't care about the story like at all. So there's, in the first issue, there's these like cubes, these alien spaceship cubes that come down, and they're all over, scattered throughout the skies of the world. And every day they like abduct children or kids, but I think they're selective about it, but they don't really go into detail about what or why. And in the second issue, you have the main character, and he's gathered his team that he plans to use to infiltrate one of the cubes. Basically, they want to get abducted, and then they're going to break out all the kids that are trapped in that one cube and get them out. It's fine. Like, it's a cool idea. It's a really cool idea. But they go about it weird. They go about it as if it's like a high school drama book. You know, it's Degrassi or something like that, but with this cool sci-fi alien premise, which I'm just not a fan of. The like teen drama thing, but it's not terrible. I'll probably read an issue or two more. I'll at least read the next issue. I'll check it out and see where it goes. Hopefully it picks up a little bit and isn't so like just prom queen like drama based. I don't know. It's fine. I don't know what else to say about it. All right, at number 12 we got Batman the Knight number 5. This was an okay issue. It got some heat on it on Twitter, because that's where heat on comic books goes, I guess. People saying that Batman was now gay or Batman was bisexual because of one panel in the book. I don't really see it here. I see the panel that they're talking about, and I guess I could come to the conclusion, but it seems like you're jumping the gun a lot if you're saying that Batman is now bisexual because of this. I don't know. If you were walking down the street next to a gay bar and a gay person came out and hit on you, does that make you bisexual? I don't think so. It's not that bad. It's just not. So Anton like hits on him or like makes a move or something like that, and Bruce doesn't necessarily push him away, but that's as far as it went. Is that Anton basically moved in on him, and then after Anton made the move on him, or the advance or whatever, somebody interrupted it and they said it wasn't anything. So I don't know. I think Anton may be bisexual or gay, and Bruce took advantage of it. That's what I see. But anyways, so the issue starts out and you have Bruce and Anton, and they're getting beat up by this ex-KGB guy who's holding them hostage, and all of his henchmen are beating them up. And then they get rescued and they escape from the holding cells or whatever, wherever they're at, by this lady who just starts training them right afterwards. It's really weird, and that's why I think I have this issue as low as I do. It seems so forced. This lady like has nothing to do with the story ever before, and then all of a sudden she's like a renowned spy, and she just comes out of nowhere and starts training them after helping them escape. Like, what's your motive? Why are you doing this? I don't understand your intentions, you know? It just seems really forced, unless she's, I guess, a villain. That's the only thing that I could think of that would kind of redeem that. It just doesn't make sense. She just comes out of nowhere. I mean, you find out that she's Dukar's friend, and he asked for a favor, and that's why she showed up. But it's whatever. It's probably the worst. The Night. I think I said that about the one last month, though. So maybe the series is just not as good as I was hoping, but it's okay, and I'll continue reading it. It's only 10 issues. They're halfway through. I want to kind of see where they close off and see how this Batman Begins kind of story concludes. All right, and after that, at number 11, I got Han Solo and Chewbacca, number 2. I really dug the first issue. This one, though, was just okay. It's basically a character development issue. You get Han, you get his father, which that's a cool part. Like, you really get a good interaction between Han and his father and kind of see like how he was brought up a little bit. And then the rest of the issue is Han and Greedo working together on a team, pulling off like a heist or something. And you start to see a wedge getting driven between them, and where their rivalry begins, I guess. So I'm assuming in issue number 3, you're probably going to get, you know, the showdown between Han and Greedo, and curious to see what they do with that. See if they show who shot first. I have a feeling they're going to do something tricky where it's like they both shot at the same time. My next book at number 10, so we've finally entered our top 10, is The Flash number 782. Now the reason why this one is down to number 10 is because it opens in a really weird way. So the first, I want to say it's like 2 or 3 pages, right? You get Wally West's kids, Jai and Iris, and they're hanging out with their mom. And when it introduces them into the story or into the issue, it portrays them almost as if they're like somewhere between like 15 and 17, like age-wise, their size, their facial features, they look older. And then like 3 panels later, it shows them in the same situation, like nothing's changed. They're still in the same environment, same exact situation, but they look like they're 6 or 7 years old, like they're tiny. There's some weird art going on there. So I was confused and like jarred off right at the beginning. Other than that, it was just fun and entertaining issue, which I guess The Flash has been doing. I've only read the last 2, but I guess The Flash has been pretty fun and entertaining and consistent so far. So I'll probably continue reading it. You get a Wally and Wallace team up fight here. They're fighting this guy named Girder who broke from a prison. And I never had seen this character. I've heard of him, Girder. He's, I guess, metal or made of metal or has a lot of metal on him or something. But they turn him into a big magnet and then they get him back into the prison. After that, they meet a suspicious, like the warden of the prison was like super suspicious. So Wally and Wallace again team up and they're doing like this spy infiltration, like crawling through ventilation system, James Bond kind of stuff. It's pretty fun. Yeah, I'll keep reading it, but I mean, it wasn't like crazy groundbreaking or anything like that. It was just, it was pretty fun. All right, and then after that, we got number 9. I Hate This Place number 1 from Image Comics, and I'll spare the I hate this place jokes, but this is a pretty cool issue. Good introduction. I like the premise. It's oops, I forgot to take that off. I apologize. So it's got like a Skinwalker Ranch kind of vibe. So these 2 girls, or well, the white girl inherits this house out in this farm. I can't remember. I think they said where it was at, but it's like out in the rural America somewhere, right? So this girl her name's Gabby. She inherits this house, and it's like a kind of a little overgrown farmhouse. Kind of reminded me of like Stardew Valley. But the house is like super duper haunted. There's like all these monsters and stuff that come out in the middle of the night, but they're not allowed to go into the property, I guess, into the house. So they're safe inside the house, but it's just, you know, frightening. It's creepy. But this girl, Gabby, this girl right here, she's a total idiot. Like absolute idiot, moron. But this girl, her girlfriend, her name's Trudy. She's like a survivalist kind of girl. She starts off by embracing this whole like rural farmhouse kind of life. She's like, we should build a bunker. We should do all this stuff. I got all these guns. I'm awesome. Which she doesn't look like she would be that way, but she is. I guess she says in the issue that she was just brought up that way to where she's kind of a survivalist and she likes that kind of stuff. But it was entertaining for sure. And I'll definitely pick up future issues. So let's see where it goes. All right, at number 8, I got Savage Avengers number 1. This is pretty cool issue. I don't have nothing really to complain about. I just wasn't super into it, but it was good. It's a very action heavy issue. I do like what they did as kind of with each character. They gave them a couple page features. So like Weapon H has a page or 2 specifically for him, and then Anti-Venom has a page for him, and then it just kind of goes through each character, gives them a little feature, injects them into the story, and kind of sets up how they all get together to create this team. It was cool. That's pretty much all I have to say about it, other than the whole Conan thing with, I guess, Marvel's losing the license to create Conan books, so we'll see if they cut it short or if they're just going to continue. I've heard a rumor where they can just continue using Conan for Savage Avengers, but for nothing else. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm definitely gonna keep reading it for now, though. All right, then next at numero 7, we have Iron Fist number 3. This was probably the first book that I read this week digitally that I'm like, man, I kind of wish I picked up a physical copy of that. It is what it is. So it's pretty cool. I thought it was much better than the second issue, which is the reason why I dropped the second. I dropped it after the second one. I was like, yeah, I don't like where this is going. But this one was cool. It goes back into the kind of backstory of Lin Lee, and how he got the sword shards like embedded into his skin, his arms. Yeah, action-oriented episode or issue. Good action, good art, good character development. We're gonna see, I guess, what transpired or is going to transpire with the rival. He seems like he's kind of more of like a sorcerer kind of character. I'm interested. I don't know if I'll pick up back in physical just because I didn't pick up issue 3. Maybe I will. I don't know. It depends on the week when issue 4 comes out, how crowded that week is with comic books. I'm definitely going to at least keep reading the digital and go from there. All right, and my number 1 X-Men book or mutant book of the week was Immortal X-Men number 2, which I thought was crazy. So I have this one coming in at number 6, and I absolutely hated the first issue of this. It was just people sitting around jaw-jacking. Like, that's all that happened in the first issue, and it was so boring. But this issue was like infinitely better. So much better. To the point where it was actually pretty good, and I would consider picking it up. But I don't know. We'll see. Kind of like Iron Fist. It depends on the week that the next issue comes out. If it's crazy stacked, I'll just continue to read it digitally. If there's not really a whole lot of books that I'm going to pick up that week. So this one, you have Magneto and Storm kind of duoing. And then you get some cool Mr. Sinister action. And that's probably the highlight of the book. Like, there's some really cool stuff with Mr. Sinister. And then you get a neat character moment with Mr. Sinister and Nightcrawler. And some cool Hope Summers stuff at the end. It was a fun, exciting, kind of action-packed, cool issue. Like, definitely going in the right direction as far as the X books are concerned. Probably one of the most exciting and entertaining X books, like single issues, that I've read in a while. So, yeah, that one came in at number 6. Just outside of the top 5. Very surprising to me. All right, and then what do we have at number 5? We've got A Town Called Terror number 2. All right, so my first complaint about this book is there's just not enough meat, right? It is absolutely gorgeous, and the product quality is amazing. This is like just high grade. It's high grade paper. The ink is nice. Just everything about this feels really, really special and really nice. Like, it's especially in this day and age when, you have Marvel printing their comics on toilet paper. You have something like this that is just, wow, like, it's so nice. I don't feel like I wasted my money when it comes to the quality of the product. However, the amount of story you get is tiny. Like, there's like 4 pages in this book. Well, 6 pages, something like that, where there's like 2 words, 1 word, but the art makes up for it. The art is so good. You got this guy, he gets kidnapped. His wife doesn't know where he went, but he went to a town called Terror, where his father, he's the mayor or like president or something like that. He's like the leader of the town, right? The kid's mom went missing, basically, and his dad asked for his help by kidnapping him and like kind of interrogating him and forcing him to come. He asked for his help. It's really interesting. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. I am curious to continue, but the art is just phenomenal. The artist's name is, I'm assuming it's Simon. It's Szymon, so it's probably Simon Kodransky. But wow, amazing art. Like, truly amazing. All right, and then next we got Venom, Lethal Protector number 2. This was it's just old school fun. That's all it is. You get Eddie Brock. He is like back to his old self where he's all, you know, huge and muscular and he has these giant caterpillar eyebrows, and he's just a cool character. So in the first issue you get the, what's his name? And then of course as I'm opening it, I remember what his name is. His name's Humbug. In the first issue, he like sonically blasts Venom. He blasts the symbiote off of Eddie. At least I think it was in the first. Maybe it was at the beginning of the second issue. Anyways, he like sonically blasts the symbiote off of Eddie. And in this one, you kind of get like Eddie or Venom recovering. He's recovering from the blast and they're getting revenge. They go for like a round 2 versus Humbug. And at the very end, there's an interesting proposition that is given to Venom and Eddie. And curious to see, you know, what takes place after that. It's interesting, but it's also like diabolical a little bit. It's just fun. And then kind of in the same vein, just a fun book, we have Thor number 25. I have it number 3. This was another fun book. Kind of like the first. I actually liked the first one better, which is like contrary to pretty much anything anybody else has said from what I've heard. Everybody likes this one more, which I don't, but that's because of, I think because of my love for fighting games, and they made the first issue like a fighting game tribute almost. This is good. It's a good part 2. You get some Tony Stark moments. You get some Richard Reed moments. There was a really weird thing that bugged me with the art. You get a couple of shots of Steve Rogers, and his face just looks awful. At one point, he's supposed to be shocked or like in awe of something, and he just looks goofy, man. I'll just show it to you. So this is one of them that bugged me. That panel is super weird. Like, why does he look like that? And then this one. Oh yeah, that's what happened. So Tony Stark like blasted off, and Steve Rogers didn't want him to, and was like, he was not angry, but like, Tony, like, come back. But look at him. What's wrong with him? He looks like almost happy, but like at the same time, like he's got to poop. I don't know, man, but it was good. Other than that, it was a good issue. It was fun. You got like Odin versus Bruce Banner inside of the Hulk's body. That was pretty cool. And then you get Tony Stark's new suit, which is really cool looking. Iron Seraph, maybe. Probably not going to happen. It's just going to be like Celestial Iron Man, which is fine. But Iron Redeemer, because he reminded me of Redeemer from Spawn. Iron Redeemer just sounded cool to me. But all right, and at number 2, I got Nightwing number 92. I got this sweet alternate variant cover. So in this issue, you get Alfred and Dick Grayson moments where it kind of goes into their relationship and how Alfred is like kind of teaching Bruce how to not be an asshole to Dick. It was cool. I mean, it wasn't like amazing. The coolest thing in this issue for me, I'll have to show you. Because a lot of you that read this issue might have missed it, but I thought it was really cool, and that's probably why I ranked it so high. It happens on, it's the backstory part, and then as soon as they get back to the present time, in this page, you get this guy. It's George Perez. And you get, of course, Dick Grayson like waving at him saying, hey, you know, it's pretty cool, I thought. And it even says, Mary and George's Pizza. He's got like a little pizza truck or pizza shop. I don't know. I thought that was really, really cool. And that's kind of one of the main reasons why I think I ranked it so high. But it was a good book. I don't know. I feel like all the Nightwing issues have been, it's been a consistent book. Kind of like The Flash, it's been consistent. But I think this, in general, has been a little bit better, in my opinion. But It's not for everybody, I'm sure. There's not a whole lot of action, so some people might get bored with it. It's a lot of like characters kind of just interacting with the world. I liked it though. The one thing that does bug me about this Nightwing book, or this whole run in general, is the halftone shading. The dots are just, they're out of hand a little bit, man. Calm down on the dots. It gets to the point where it's distracting how many dots. Like, I'll try to show you again. Take it out again. I don't think I've ever taken a book out twice in a review, but let's see, where is it at? There was one picture in particular that bugged me. Oh yeah, this one. This page was super nice. Look at that. It's like a poster almost. Okay, and then where is it at? Okay, like this, right? You can't really tell in the video. Like, it actually looks pretty nice in the video. It makes it shade better. Okay, once it focuses, you'll see all the little dots. So it didn't probably look too bad on the screen, but when you look at it on the paper, it looks like he's got polka dots all over his face because the dots are so big and spaced apart. It's all throughout every single one of these issues of Nightwing, which I'm okay with. You know, it gives it a little classic vibe, the halftone shading, but I think they overdo it a little bit in Nightwing. That's the only gripe I have, though. Everything else is great. All right, and then coming in at number 1, my pick of the week, Batman Superman World's Finest, number 3. I don't have too much to say about this. This is like probably for me like a top 5 comic book of the year so far. Probably top 5 comic book of the year. It's really good. It's just done fantastically. Like, it's old school, nostalgic, classic Batman and Superman team up action with like a modern comic book art. Yeah, modern art and classic storytelling. It's literally perfect. So you get basically Robin and Supergirl are like this, they're a side team kind of in this, and they are going back in time to get some answers, and they do get some answers from the Warriors of G. I think it's G is how you pronounce that. And they have this battle with those warriors, and then finally the warriors come to their senses, and they explain a little bit about the Devil Neza. And then you have the Devil Neza. He is manipulating the minds of Alfred and Hal Jordan. So Hal Jordan makes his appearance in this book, and it doesn't look like he's gonna be a friend at first. So that should be fun. And then there's a team up battle issue with Batman and Superman where they're fighting 2 different villains. They fight Dr. Alchemy and they fight Mirror Master. The art is amazing. Really, really good art, and I feel like it fits the story better. It's a little more cartoony than like Nightwing or Dark Knights of Steel. They over-characterize a little bit more than those books. So like Superman will be a little bit beefier, Batman beefier, you know. It's really, really, really good, and I just appreciate it as a whole. I definitely recommend Batman Superman World Finest. All 3 issues have been really, really spectacular so far. So if you head to your comic book shop and you haven't picked up any of those, pick those up. Really, really strong stuff. And that's about it for me. That's 19 books I went over. Some of them I didn't go over in a whole lot of detail, but for the most part, that's kind of what I thought about them. And yeah. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so we get a whole new slew of new comic books, and until next time.